I think Toni Storm has made a huge career mistake, and I'm here to tell you why. Now, Toni Storm is a major star in AEW as the Women's World Champion. Now, this comes after she had a tenure in WWE, which ended very weird. Take it back for a minute. When she departed from WWE, she was a member of SmackDown. She was a member of a key role, a key storyline, if you will, with Charlotte Flair. And then she just bowed out, right? She was on tour, and then all of a sudden, boom, she was gone. And then she went to AEW, and it took her a minute for her to find her flow and find her role, and she certainly did, because in AEW, you have a lot more creative freedom. Now, don't get me wrong, Tony Khan still has the final say, but Mercedes Moné took the opportunity, and she decided, hey, what I was doing before is not working. Yes, I found success in NXT UK. Yes, I found success in NXT and somewhat on the WWE main roster. Now, I could continue to do what I'm doing, or I can completely change the game. That's what she did with the timeless Toni Storm character, right? Now, she made a definitive statement about her future in the pro wrestling industry, declaring that she is with All Elite Wrestling for life and has no intention of ever returning to WWE. The reigning women's world champion has found immense success in AEW with this persona. She made these statements while making an appearance on the Sandman's podcast, and when asked what her long-term plans are, she said this: I'm on a 5-year deal, and I can't remember how long, but I'm a lifer for AEW. There's no oh, well, we'll see what happens. When I'm done wrestling, you'll never see me again. You'll never see me in any other capacity or in any other company for that matter. Exclusive. And then I will vanish with that. There's no encore. I'm not doing anything else. Where would I go? What would I do? Because I'm on a long-term deal with AEW. I signed my life to AEW. Now, there's more to this, so hang on. Let me break this down for a second. The fact that you would go out and you would say, I am not going anywhere else. AEW is the spot. I can't go anywhere else. I won't go anywhere else. I'm an AEW lifer. I don't like that, and here's why. Because life, you never know where life is going to take you. And you never want to burn a bridge. And so she basically burned a bridge, or is at least trying to burn a bridge in her mind of WWE, I don't want to go back. I have no interest in going back. Don't even think about it. I don't like that. It also, when it comes down to negotiations with AEW, she hurts herself in that regard because she has no leverage, right? If she would have never said any of this, well, she can always, hey, Tony, thanks for the offer. I'd really like to stay, but I would also just like to see what my market is, and I'm going to see what else is out there. And then she can field offers from, any other promotion that you want, and you can go down the list, including WWE. They are the biggest game in town. It's just not very good optics for you to do that, and it's certainly not good optics to do so and do it in such a public way. Now, let's continue. The Sandman pointed out that the unforeseen things can happen in pro wrestling, just like I was talking about. However, Storm remained firm in her stance. She stated, that does happen a lot in wrestling, though. Yes, random crazy S happens, but as of now, AEW for life. Now, she specifically addressed the possibility of one day going back to WWE, stating that while she respects the company, she does not feel that she is a good fit for their environment. She said no, and that's no offense to them. I think they're great. I understand them for exactly what they are. They're a machine. They're a business, and I just don't fit in their whole shtick, and that's cool. I love a lot of people that work there, and it's like, yes, get that money, get that power, but realistically, in my life, that's it. I could do another 20 years in AEW. Now, when you hear those comments and you put it into that context, I understand where she's coming from. She is coming from, hey, I've been in the WWE system. I've been through it 3 different ways, 3 different styles, 3 different variations, and I did not like it. Yes, I found success in NXT UK. Yes, I found success in NXT, but I just simply don't like it. And that's okay. Just because you don't like a company, you don't like working there, it doesn't fit for you, you just don't enjoy it, does not mean you necessarily need to go out and say it. Okay? I'm coming from this as not, a WWE mark or an AEW mark or this weird tribalism that some people have. I really, really do think Timeless Toni Storm is a significant player in the pro wrestling industry. I think she's one of the biggest stars in the pro wrestling industry, let alone women's division or AEW. I'm just talking about in general. I think she's a top 10 star in the entire business, just off of metrics and her draw ability and her star power and her matches and her promos and her character and everything, right? But as a fan of hers and as a fan of the industry, I hate to see her go out in such a public way and talk about this. Now, as a content creator, obviously, I'm making content off of this, so I like it. I appreciate the fact that she's real and she's authentic with her comments, with her beliefs, with her headspace. I get all that. But I also think that there are some instances in which you just simply don't need to do that, right? Just keep that to yourself. Just go, hey, for now, I'm focused on AEW. Now, she did backtrack just a minute, right? While she said, yes, she's a lifer for AEW. She doesn't want to be part of the machine, the WWE business, that she could do another 20 years in AEW. She did make a note of right now. Because, like I said, and like the Sandman was pointing out, Sandman, he's in his 20s. He's a crazy SOB, but he's been around the block. He's seen people come. He's seen people go. He's found success. He's found failures in pro wrestling. And he looks at Timeless Toni Storm, and I'm sure he has tremendous amounts of respect for her. But I also think that he goes, hey, just keep your options open. You don't want to ever burn a bridge. I don't agree with a lot of things that an Eric Bischoff will say on his 83 Weeks podcast. I think in a lot of ways, there's a lot of dumb takes. And it's not just all about AEW. He just does that for engagement. But I will give him a tremendous amount of credit that he is open and honest about, hey, I've made mistakes. Here's what I've done. And one of those mistakes that he's made, and something in which he talked about this with Jake Hager recently, he talked about this with other people recently, is do not burn a bridge. And I've tried to do that through my career. I've had clients, I've had jobs, I've had situations where I quit, I went back. I've had situations where I've been fired or let go or we parted ways and I've gone back. And I always try not to burn bridges with people because I understand, hey, it's a small world. We may need each other down the road. Let's keep this open-ended. Don't say anything bad about them privately or publicly, because privately it can also get back to them. Just keep it, hey, it didn't work out. I really liked my time there. Wish them all the best. Maybe we can work together in the future, and then you come back, right? That's usually how life works. Some instances, that's not the case, but if you're self-employed or in the pro wrestling industry or in your business or whatever, or corporate, you don't want to leave negatives when you depart somewhere, or even if you could go back somewhere, especially in pro wrestling, because there's only a handful of companies that you can actually realistically work for. Keep your options open. That would be my advice to her.